All right, guys. So Monday, here we go. Starting something new today. So we had a test on the end of last week, and we're starting something new today. We're going to start equations, and hopefully this ought to be a little bit review from last year. But here's our objective for today. I can solve one-step equations. Shouldn't be too bad. Should be nice and easy. Like I said, should be some review from last year. So we're going to start solving one-step equations. Objective done. Don't write this, but just listen to what I have to say. This is very, very important. Okay? Up until now, some of the stuff that we have done, you maybe not have to write down. You might be able to figure it out. You might be able to remember it on your own. But over the next couple of weeks, all right, all right, you have to write them down with me to learn how to do it. Okay? I've been teaching solving equations a long time, and there's no other way to really practice and to really understand how to do it than to write it down. So you need to write it down each and every problem, each and every step, so that we know how to do it. Okay? Once you get better at it, you don't have to write it down as much. Some of the littler steps you could maybe skip, but you need to write down what we're working on. Okay? It builds so much this. We start with one-step equations, and we go to two-step equations, and we do distributive and combining like terms. And there's so many things that we do that if you don't know how to do the basics from today, you'll never get to where we're going to next by the end of the week and then after fall break and so on. Okay? So write what we're due down, even if it seems silly, even if it seems like you know how to do it, write it down so you know how to do these type of problems. All right. So first thing that I need to talk about is an equation. All right? An equation is like the scale over here. Okay? So if I have an equation with I have letters, variables, whatever, it doesn't really matter what it looks like. Okay? I can put anything on the left side, anything on the right side. I can add, I can subtract, I can do anything that I want to that equation as long as I do it to both sides. Okay? If I want to add 5 to the left side, I can do that as long as I add it to the right side. If I want to divide by 2, as long as I do it to both sides, it's good to go. All right? So it's like this balance here. If I put something over here, I have to put that same something over here. Okay? Another word here, inverse operations. We talked a little bit about this with scientific notation, or not scientific notation, with our exponents. Okay? We talked about opposites. So inverse operations is they're kind of connected. Addition, the inverse operation is subtraction. So if I have addition on one side of the problem and I need to get it to the other side, I need to cancel it out, I do the opposite. The same way that multiplication and division are opposites. Okay? So think about that and we'll make more sense. But to solve something, I basically need to do the opposite of that something. Okay? All right, let's look at the next part. Okay, let's actually get into some equations here. Write this down for me. X plus 5 equals 11. Now, our main goal when we solve any equation is to get the variable by itself. Okay? The variable is just a placeholder for a number. Sometimes we know what it figured out to be, sometimes we don't. But we're going to figure out what x or whatever our variable is each and every time. So I have this equation, x plus 5 equals 11. Now, some teachers teach it that you're going to put a line where your equal sign is. Sometimes I'll do it that way, sometimes I won't. But that serves as, hey, one side of my equation is the x plus 5, the other is 11. Now, when I do this, okay, my main goal, like I said, is to get x by itself. So I have to move the plus 5. I want to cancel it out. I want to move it to the other side of the equation. And how we do that is our inverse operations. So we got addition, we got plus 5. So to get rid of plus 5, we're going to subtract 5. Because when I do that, if I have positive 5 and I take away 5, I have 0. So I really have x plus 0, which really just turns into x, which is what I want, okay? So that's why we do that. I won't show this part every time. I may just cross it off, but that's what it looks like, okay? Now, if I go back to my minus 5, I did it to one side. I can do that. Doesn't change anything, but I have to do it to the other side. So now I have 11 minus 5, 6. So I bring that down. So I know that x equals 6 for this equation. Which makes sense. You could have probably done that in your head, but I would know that 6 plus 5 equals 11. Okay? All right, let's try another one. Let's try another one. Same thing here. Okay, I got 4 plus x equals 19. Okay, now that x, once again, I want it to be by itself. So I want x equals. To get there, I need to move that 4. Now I move that 4 with subtraction because it is positive 4. This goes with the x, okay? The sign goes with the one behind. We're going to do some combining like terms at some point. But the sign goes with the one behind. So positive x, which is fine, that's what I want. So if I put minus 4 on one side, I have to put minus 4 on the other side. Okay, because this will cancel out, which is what I want. 19 take away 4, x equals 15. Okay, so far so good? Okay, keep going. All right, x minus 3 equals 8. So now if I look at this problem, okay, I have x minus 3 equals 8. So if I have negative 3, if I have this negative 3, the opposite is going to be positive 3. If I do it to one side, I got to do it to the other. So that cancels out. That's 0 now, which is what I want. And 8 plus 3, 11. There we go. What about over here? Negative 6 plus y equals 21. Once again, if you need to pause any of these problems and write them down before I start with it, that's fine. But I have negative 6. So negative 6, we're going to add 6 to both sides. Okay, negative 6 plus 6, 0. See ya. Y equals 21 plus 6. Let's see. 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 27. There we go. Okay, 27. So far, so good? Okay, we're done with 2 of them. Let's do the other type now. We got 2 more to go. Okay, now this looks like 3v. So how we would technically read that is 3 times a number. So 3 times a number is being multiplied. So it's being multiplied, we need to divide. So how do we look at division? Here we go, we put 3 there. Because that equals what? 3 divided by 3 equals 1v, which what I really want is just v by itself or 1v, right? So I know that v equals whatever. Now, same thing as before. If I do it to the left side, I have to do it to the other side. Okay, then your negatives here. I got negative 15 divided by 3. Okay, I got a negative divided by positive. Means my answer is going to be negative at negative 5. Okay, what about over here? Now, some people get thrown off when I write it this way, but if you need to, just put the variable on the other side. You just have to rewrite it the exact same way. Same thing though. 5 times a number equals 25. Okay, so let's divide here. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. X equals 5. 5 times 5 equals 25, so that makes sense. Okay? Cool, cool. Last one. Last one. Here we go. Now I have division. X divided by 11 equals 3. Okay, so to undo division, we do the inverse operation. We're going to multiply by the number that's on the bottom. Because if you remember back when we did exponents and we talked about crossing things off that were on the top and bottom, same idea. That equals 1, so I know I'm good to go. Times 11, so I got x equals 3 times 11, 33. This was a little bit tricky, but it's okay. Let's take a look at it. All right. So I have y, negative y, divided by 4 equals 12. Well, I want my variable to be positive. So I need to get rid of this negative 4 to begin with. So I'm going to multiply by negative 4. That right there cancels out, so I'm good to go. Got to do the same thing to the other side. So times negative 4, okay? May need that calculator, may need that one online, or if you have one on your own, or just punch it into Google. 12 times negative 4, negative 48. Okay, how are we feeling? Hopefully good, hopefully good. Okay, pause the video, take down these next 4. Okay, try these next 4 on your own. I want to see your answers after we watch the video. So after we get done here with a couple extra minutes here at the end, I'm going to look at your screens and you're going to show me what you've done. All right, you have to write them down or else you're never going to get it, guys. So do the best you can and we'll talk to you in a few minutes. All right, see you in a few.